guys, we got baby chicks and it has been about 3 days now since we first got them, and we wanted to chat with you guys about the process so far and keep you guys up with what it's like owning baby chicks. We got 12 egg-laying hens, and we're gonna explain to you why we only have 7 at day 3. And show you guys what they're looking like, show you guys as they grow up, and we're going to be building them a coop. We're going to be doing so many things, and we wanted to chat with you guys about it. So
the store was supposed to get the chickens in on Friday. These are chickens that the local stores order in. They order in like a specific number each week for the spring.
The storm delayed the shipment is what we're hearing.
Thank you.
And we didn't really know how this whole thing was done until we ended up getting these baby chicks. And what I'm learning after all of this is that chickens are shipped via USPS. I thought maybe there would be some separate sort of like live animal shipping service.
Yes, I knew they were shipped. I thought that there was more like regulation and more of a, I don't know, more care involved in it. But really it's just they kind of just throw them in the box and ship them.
Like the regular
overnight.
mail.
Yeah.
And the thing is what we learned through all of this, and the reason we even started looking into this a little bit more, is because every year we've seen chicks be sold at our local farm store, and that's kind of as far as we went because we didn't ever purchase any. And this year when we went to go get them, we got a call on Saturday morning that they had finally arrived. Like we said, they were supposed to be here Friday morning. So an additional 24 hours sitting in a box. They were stuck in Illinois, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what I remember her saying. The thing is from the research that we've done and my friend did, that animals or chicks have to be under 72 hours old to be shipped in the mail. I didn't realize that they quite literally hatch and stick them in a crate, and then they ship them off in USPS, and then they get shipped to like a post office, and then they have to be picked up by the store. And the thing is that because these were delayed, baby chickens are born with like a yolk sac, and that is what nourishes them for the first 48 hours. And so that's most likely why they ship them in the mail in these first couple days, because they don't need to eat during transport. But the thing is that specifically during this time, baby chicks also can't regulate their own body temperature. Yeah. And they are not shipped with heat. So
I thought, I don't know, I had like a rose-colored glasses about it. I knew they were shipped, I did know that, but I just kind of assumed that they would have to ship them with heat or insulation.
And I think there's a little bit, but not enough. So basically what happened is...
It's not climate controlled. Like the trucks, who knows if the trucks are climate controlled? I doubt it. And that, I just kind of assumed, like, of course, like why would they wouldn't allow them to sit in like a frozen warehouse overnight, but apparently they do.
Well, and I had a few people message me saying like, yeah, I work for USPS and I always feel so bad for the chicks. I always try to keep them in my heated truck, and it's like, that shouldn't be your responsibility as just somebody who works for USPS. Like there should be a really safe and humane way that these babies are shipped. So either way, we got our chicks Saturday morning. We got 12, and immediately when we got them home, which the store is 10 minutes from our house, we lost 2 immediately. Yeah. Like they were
within an hour.
Within an hour, they were already dead. And that had nothing to do with us. Like we brought them straight home, very quiet, straight into like a really good setup that we have behind us, which I'll show you here. And then we saw over the next like 12 hours that 2 more were going down, and we were doing everything that we could during that time. I was giving them electrolytes in water. I was making a slurry and force feeding them just to get some nourishment into them. I worked as a wildlife rehabber for years, so I know what we would do for baby birds that would come in and were looking poorly. So I was doing what I could for the chicks. And then we lost another last night. And that one for 24 hours, I was trying to do the same thing with her and get her healthy, but they just
she was looking frail. Sick for the entire time. All the other ones the ones that we still have, they've looked bright and they've been running around and pecking. You can hear them in the background the whole time. That one kind of was slow
and just sleeping under the brooder.
You can just tell she just didn't look with it, and then slowly started getting worse and worse. So Kristi was trying to like perk her back up, give her some
every half hour, giving her fluids and feeding her a little bit, and it just didn't make any difference. She couldn't stand or walk. And so out of 12, we have 7 remaining. And you know, this isn't just an us problem, obviously.
Oh, I'm sure, because there's people in line, even at the store that we were at, getting chicks, so I'm sure a lot of those ones probably didn't make it either, and a lot of the ones that were supposed to come to the other stores, because we know people that work at some of these stores, and they said that their chicks just didn't make it out of the mail.
Yeah, like, the one group that came, every single one was dead on arrival, and I think there was over 50.
It's just almost inexcusable, and just it's totally avoidable.
It's totally avoidable, and it's inhumane. Like, the thing is what I don't understand, and maybe this is my ignorance coming through, but why are the chickens being shipped from across the United States to another state? If there are 50 states, there should be hatcheries in every state that the transport need not be, I mean, you know, 13 states away.
Or at least some regulation as far as like environment that they have to be kept in, because they have specific needs. Like she said, they can't regulate their own body temperature. I don't know. I would have thought that was like a given. It should go without saying. So we didn't really think about that side of things, because we've never like purchased chicks. We've never seen. It's like
out of sight.
It's almost like once like you get into something, then everybody's like, oh yeah, it's been like this, but you never hear about it before when you're Googling it and when you're doing like all your research of how to take care of them. You never really hear about that before, but after we got them, that was like, oh yeah, that's totally normal. Like that they get shipped and there's delays, and
when I think we've normalized it, because it's like, oh yeah, a lot of them die, and like I'm sure that a lot of them, or you know, many of them would not make it anyway, even under the perfect circumstances, just given the mortality rate of just like chickens in general. I mean, they're just not a very, like, that's why there's so many eggs laid, because some just don't make it. But it seems cruel to me that it's just like, well, you know, yeah, they all died. Well, it's like, oh my God.
Because we're not talking about like 2 or 3. We're not just talking about the 5 that we got. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds just in our local area that we know of. We know this happens all around the country, like she said. So that's where it's like, I don't know. So all that to say, we're done.
We're not going to do this again.
We're going to still do chickens, obviously. We have chickens, but we're going to try to find somebody local or get eggs next time. Next time, I think we'll either, if we can't find somebody local that's like reputable, or somebody that we know, we're gonna get eggs shipped in, and just, we have an incubator already and hatch them here. The only reason I didn't do that is because a lot of the places were sold out at the time.
And so honestly, you get roosters that way. Like, you don't know if you're gonna even get just hens. Like, the nice way about doing it this way is that they're sexing the hens before they give them to the store. Whereas if you're incubating your own eggs, you might get 50-80% rooster. You never know, you know? Yeah. So the thing is,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to find a local person to get baby chicks from in the future. And just, yeah, I don't like this setup.
It's not my favorite thing. It's kind of like the Petco, PetSmart, beta fish. That's how they get treated, and it's just not cool, man. No,
I don't appreciate it. But getting onto the positive side of things, we've gotten past the tragedy and the heartbreak, and now we've got 7 delightful baby chicks. Not a clue what these guys are though, because we got 2 of all of these breeds that I'm going to tell you right now. We'll see when they grow up what they are, but what we purchased were 2 Starlight Green, 2 Sapphire Splash, 2 Americana Easter Eggers, 2 Light Brahma, 2 Calico Princess, and 2 Blue Laced Gold Wyandotte. I already know for sure the only ones I could positively identify were the Light Brahmas, and I do know that one of those was one that passed away. You can tell because they have fuzzy feet, and the rest of them I have no idea. I'm really sad at the sheer amount of loss we had, because that's like a 40% loss, but we've still got 7.
The good thing from here is that we are past that 24 or 48 hours. It's that time period for these chicks that's like, it's the first week really, but every day of their life they're more hardy. So there's less and less and less likely of a chance that one's gonna die of just failure to thrive, or
being too cold, or being undernourished, or So I think we're past the worst of it now, and everybody that's in there I've seen personally up eating, drinking,
Yeah.
running around, scratching. They all look really healthy. There were a few that had pasty butt, which it can happen from like the stress of transport. They say a lot of the time, getting too cold, getting dehydrated, etc. So yesterday I washed all of their ones with pasty butt. I washed them under some like gentle lukewarm water and dried off their little butt.
Chicken mama.
I feel so sad for them. They're just so tiny, but they're doing good now. The 7 that we have are all good. And now it is time for us in the upcoming weeks to build the chicken coop.
Yeah. And we're thinking that we're gonna do a decent sized coop. We might do like a 8x6 or 8x7 coop, and then
Like a
maybe
20-foot
like
run.
a 20-foot run on top of that.
And the run will be fully covered. The coop obviously is fully
Yeah.
covered, and then it's gonna be buried into the ground. The run will have a roof on it because we want to keep them out of the blistering hot sun in the summertime, but also the elements because we live in Washington, and we want to make sure that we're keeping away any predators because
That's the main one.
yeah, we live in the woods, so it's not something that you can just you can't just let them be out. If we were in town or something, it'd be different, but we live in the middle of the woods, and there are coyotes, there's cougars, there's bears, there's raccoon, there's everything. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have it be a fully enclosed, large
Yeah.
run. It's gonna be a big enough space that they don't feel crammed, and it feels like a totally comfortable place for them to live. We'll have like lots of perches and roosts and things for them to do in there.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna build kind of like a steep pitched A-frame, not a full A-frame where it just sits on the ground, just an A, but like almost in the same style as our greenhouse shape. We're gonna build like a large pitched roof with a little bit of like a 2 or 3 foot wall on the bottom, and then with like a nesting box where you can open it up in the back or the sides. And yeah, I don't even know how to do that. I've never done it.
We're just gonna wing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or we're gonna
chicken wing.
have our contractors help us, or my dad,
Yeah,
or somebody.
if we get stuck, we'll ask for help. But we're gonna try to wing it. And
We have an upcoming video where Zack fully talks about the quail eggs that we just got that were unexpected. They came 3 months early. We're gonna talk about all that in an upcoming video, and he's gonna show you him putting them in an incubator because if this whole chicken situation wasn't enough, we're about to potentially have 30 quail. So yeah, we'll talk all about that in an upcoming video, but we just wanted to show you guys our new chickies. And we have no names for anybody yet because I wasn't about to name anybody during
no,
this
we're not gonna name them for a while.
very like rocky time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We'll name them once they're big enough to be put outside and they kind of
show us their personalities.
Yeah.
So we'll show you all the little babies, and
They're real cute.
yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Bye.